Hello, America. It's Bianca, GOP girl with Clean TV Live, and are football players in the NFL a little entitled? And are they living up to the stereotype that football players are just dumb football players? I'm beginning to think so. This whole kneeling for the national anthem because you don't like the president has got to stop. Because if it doesn't, these players are going to lose their salaries. Who do they think watches these games? It's Americans. They play American football. And Alejandro Villanueva, he was the one man that was the hero on Sunday. He is an offensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers who earned a Bronze Star. He served 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan. He went out of the tunnel and he stood for the American anthem, for the national anthem. And he was berated by his coach, Mike Tomlin, who, I have to point out the obvious, Mike Tomlin is black. Yes, he is. You know, Mike Tomlin, he said about Alejandro Villanueva's not kneeling with the rest of the players in the tunnel. I know, he said it was a mistake. I know, I'm going to get to that. Mike Tomlin said, like I said, I was looking for 100% participation. We were going to be respectful of our football team. So I have to ask, is Alejandro Villanueva, is he being threatened? Has the black football coach, is the black football coach racist? Is Mike Tomlin saying to Alejandro Villanueva, did he say, if you ever want to play another game, buddy, you better say you came out of the tunnel because it was a mistake? I wouldn't put it past a coach. Because you know what, people? Let me tell you a little about the football, the whole college NFL football industry. Okay? These guys kneeling, these are not Boy Scouts. No. Are some of them good guys? Yes, they are. But you're looking at a girl who knew a very, very prestigious football team. It was once a national championship football team. And I knew what went on. These black and white dumb football players, the ones that were too dumb to really pass, they slid through. They did underwater basket weaving so that they could make the cut, so that they could play. Yes, so that they could step on the field and they could play, so that they could impress the NFL scouts, okay? These were whites. These were whites and blacks at universities that let these guys get away with not making passing grades, okay? Along with that, many of these guys, black and white, were guilty of raping young girls, gang rape, beating up their girlfriends. One girl even had an assistant football coach arrive at her doorstep to say, please don't say anything. He's got a whole career ahead of him. He's going to be a star in the NFL. You wouldn't want to ruin that for him, would you? And that was a black guy. Yes. And did they do it for the white guys? Yes, they did. These guys literally get away with murder. And sometimes they don't. But then they blame it on their brain disease. I've had it with these entitled professional football players kneeling on the field. All started out with Kaepernick. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say Kaepernick? I meant Kaepernick. Yes, okay, who is part white. But you know, they're all trying to make a point because they don't like the president. You know, that's fine. Okay, guys, that's fine. If you don't like the president, that's fine. That is your prerogative. And you can speak out as much as you like against the president. You can protest. You can go along with the women that are wearing vagina hats on their heads, and you can go protest against the president. Okay? That's your prerogative. You can even draw petitions. Yes, you can call your senators, you can call your congressmen. You can do whatever you like against the president as far as speaking out. However, you are making millions of dollars a year to play a game that you love. You're not really working, all right? You're not really doing a 9-to-5 job, okay? You have a pretty good life, and you even get away with, some of you even get away with beating up your girlfriends, getting girls pregnant, not being responsible. Some of you get away with bar fights, and everything is just slipped away. You get away with it left and right. Not all of them. Tom Brady, of course, is an outstanding Christian American citizen, and there are many others. However, there are too many black and white football players coming out against the president by using an American sport as their platform. It is the men and women that fought for our freedoms that have enabled these men to make the millions of dollars that they make. Yes, that is why you are able to step on the football field and play football. Unfortunately, for the universities that let you slide by when you didn't make the passing grade, but because they wanted you in a game, unfortunately, maybe they shouldn't have, because you're obviously not too smart, because you're not thinking. You're not thinking about when you kneel on the field or when you don't come out of the tunnel. You're not thinking about the millions of Americans that have taken part in serving for our country. You are not thinking of the millions of Americans that respect the flag, no matter who's the president. Yes, that's right. I may not have respected nor liked President Obama. However, never did I disrespect the flag. Never did I disrespect the national anthem. No. I may not have liked the president, but there are other avenues. I did my best to help President Trump get elected through writing over 200 blogs and doing videos. That was what I chose to do. These football players have many other avenues to use their professional and their celebrity status to get their point across that they don't like the president. But I have to ask, what did the president ever do to you that was racist? What makes him a racist? Oh, is it because CNN says he's a racist? Oh, is it because the women of The View, catty women of The View, catty, old, out of shape, decrepit, crotchety women of The View, is it because they called Donald Trump a racist? Or is it because the New York Times has called him a racist? Is it because all of mainstream media, with the exception of Fox News, has called President Trump a racist? What has he ever done to you personally to make him a racist? I don't think he's done anything. And if you've ever been to any of his clubs, there are plenty of African Americans working at his clubs. There are plenty of Hispanics working at his clubs. And there are all nationalities working at his clubs. As far as racism, this is what I have to say to the black football players that think that this country is racist because now President Trump is president. This country has become more racist and more divided because of yours truly, your president, former President Obama. Yes, it's he who made racism a hot topic. He divided this nation, not President Trump. As far as racism, this is what I have to say. You know what? Last I looked, we don't have white colleges. No, because that would be racist. No, we don't have white organizations. No, because that would be racist. whites don't get jobs because they are white. No, because that would be racist. Whites don't get any special treatment because that would be racist. And yet, African Americans and Latinos are given jobs, given scholarships, given financial assistance. You're given this, the world is your oyster because you are African American or because you are Hispanic. But we don't get any special privileges. But yes, we are white. But we are the ones who are now being discriminated against. This is what I have to say about the whole racism issue. Before former President Obama was president, I never looked at blacks as blacks, Chinese as Chinese, whites as whites, and Hispanics as Hispanics. I looked at us all as Americans. Yes, I did. And maybe it's because as a little girl, my father worked at a high school where there were a lot of African Americans. And I was the little white girl up in the football stands. And I was like the little mascot to all of the African American cheerleaders. So I always saw us as equal. And then former President Obama came into office. And all of a sudden, Michelle Obama made several remarks. And former President Obama made several remarks to let it be known that racism was still an issue. No, it wasn't. Former President Obama brought racism into the limelight again. And yes, somebody's just commented on this video. Look at who's at all the NFL games. Mostly white people. Yes, it's true. Mostly white people are in attendance at the football games. And you know what? Being around college football, guess who funds all of the African American scholarships for football? A lot of white guys. So, you know, I hate to say it, but there's always been that stereotype that football players are dumb football players. And I know not all of them are, because I've known some intelligent ones. However, with the kneeling, really, you are playing into that stereotype beautifully. And for Alejandro Villanueva, you know, you blew it, buddy. Your jersey outsold Tom Brady. Your jersey outsold Tom Brady. But then today you had to come out and say, oops, it was a mistake. I guess I'd like to know the real story. I'm guessing that we have a coach that threatened a former military man with not playing in the NFL. And that's sad. Because America should feel sorry for Alejandro Villanueva. Because he stood up, obviously. He came out of the tunnel and he stood up for the national anthem. Because he did believe in this country, and he did respect our American flag. And it was Coach Mike Tomlin that dumped on it, and that obviously took everything away from this guy that served in the military. Took all of the meaning of that bronze star and just basically threw it away. Well, you know what, Alejandro Villanueva? Your jersey outsold Tom Brady. You know what I wish you would do? I wish you would come out and tell America the real story about Mike Tomlin. Because maybe Mike Tomlin is the real racist. All right, everyone. I'd also like to say, yeah, John McCain, Susan Collins, thank you for voting against repeal and replace. We can always bank on these good old Republicans to help America out, right? All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. This is Bianca, GOP Girl with Clean TV Live. You can check out my blog at gopgirlblog.blogspot.com. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.